Hi guys. This is going to be a video for transgender men who are not on testosterone yet. Because yours truly is not on testosterone yet. I figured I was just going to make this video to kind of get a feel for everything. This is technically my first video for this YouTube channel, other than the one with me cutting my hair, which I guess I need another haircut. I think a lot about being pre-testosterone is you have to really invest your time into research. YouTube videos is really cool for that, so if you're here, you're probably researching, which is really awesome. Good for you. There's also a lot of really cool guys, like I said, on YouTube who helped me a lot too. Some of which I actually just subscribed to yesterday, which was really awesome. I'm going to just dive into this, and I'm going to give you a little bit of what I went through in terms of being bullied and coming out, and telling my parents, and a lot of what, helped me with my journey. So we're just gonna dive in. Okay, so when I was 3 or 4, I knew I was something different. I knew that I was in the wrong body. Yeah, I watched The Little Mermaid, and I remember thinking, man, no, I don't want to kiss her, but I do want to kiss her, but mind you, this is 3 or 4. I was a bad child. But I want to be Prince Eric kissing her. I wanted his facial features. I wanted to be a prince. I didn't care about being a princess. I didn't care about the fancy dress or having someone come and save me. And I remember telling my parents, specifically my father, Dad, I don't know how much I can take. This was like at 5 years old, though. Being 5 was rough. I was like, I don't know how much more I can take of doing this girly thing. I feel that I'm in the wrong body. He looked at me and he said, God doesn't make mistakes. And that was the answer that I got. I feel like my mother just didn't want to deal with that, which is fine. I love my mother to death. Then as time went on, my mother and father got a divorce, and they placed us in the PLACE program. So if you know what that is, that means that you had a friend or you were in the PLACE program. And I was in that because my parents were going through all that jazz. And during that time, my little brother was getting hand-me-downs from my cousin. And just really cool clothing that I wanted to wear. I would sneak and wear it around the house when my mother was asleep because we lived with her at the time. One day she caught me and she told me to take it off. I just think she didn't want me to go through that at school, like being bullied and stuff. So at the PLACE program, sure enough, I made friends with the guys, and I told them that, I felt that I was a boy. The girls were really confused by that, obviously. This is 90s, 2000s. So they wanted me to very much so be a part of their Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Beyonce, Pink band that they created. And I wasn't up for it, and that upset them. I said no. So they wound up fighting over me. Why? I don't know. I was like, nah, man, I don't want to show Beyonce what I can do. I want to fight Frieza today. It was a really good show. And it would just be bullying, and then the boys realized, from what the girls would say, that the girls were right, that I should be, dressing up and bullying all around, which that's when the weight gain came into play. I started gaining weight rapidly. Like the first 10 pounds, I just looked at my stomach and I was like, I don't care anymore. Like, I've been bullied to the fullest, and there's nothing that anyone can do to me. And that was my process at like 8 or 9 years old, and it was really intense. People laughing at me, calling me a he, she, and knowing full well that I was a girl, and still laughing at me for just looking the way that I did and trying to conform to what they wanted. I tried to conform to what they wanted. I tried wearing pink. I tried looking pretty, lipstick and makeup and earrings and all that jazz, and it just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Middle school was even worse, of course middle school is even worse. This is when my father gave me full reign over what I wanted to wear. Basketball shorts and a t-shirt. I didn't care about anything else. I wanted to do my artwork, and I wanted to hang out with my friends, and I wanted to do all that stuff. I didn't care to shave my legs. I remember sitting down in band room and this girl, I probably shouldn't even use first names, but you know, she bullied me, so whatever. Allison looked down at me and her friend Brandy was there. They started laughing at me and told me that my legs were hairier than the guys that we were sitting next to. She bullied me so hard all throughout middle school for the way that I looked, the way that I dressed, and it was rough. I will never forget her as long as I live. She actually friend requested me when I first made my Noah Joshua Facebook, and I declined her, and I wanted to be like, what? Really? And then something really cool happened. I went to California and my aunt Jessica, who I love very much, and she, mind you, was the funniest person I had ever met in my life. She went into the store and came out of the store, and I looked at her and I was like, you know what, Jessica? I'm in California, in the most accepting city, which is San Francisco, San Jose. I'm here and I'm with you and you're living your life, and I'm a lesbian. You're right. I'm a lesbian. That was the first time I've ever been bitch slapped with a stare. Each time I went to California after that, I was like, I'm bisexual. No. The next time, I'm a lesbian. And my aunt goes, I'm scared for the next time you come. Ah! That was before high school. And in high school, having that experience gave me all the confidence in the world. I was accepting of me being a lesbian, but it was never, I never liked that term, and I don't mean to offend lesbians. If you're a lesbian, I love you. I love you for being a lesbian. I like that you like chicks. Keep on liking chicks. Chicks are awesome. I like chicks too. Let's have a beer. Like, I was still basketball shorts and t-shirts, and then my friend Corinne, who I know she's gonna watch this, my friend Corinne was like, yo, I love your style. Just kidding. We need to get you in pants, like jeans, and we need to do something about all of that because we're not in middle school anymore. We need to help you out. It's high school. It's time. So I started, you know, being more okay with myself after high school. I'll never forget it as long as I live. I was done with the bullshit. I was done with people bullying me. I was done with girls leaving me for guys because they had something I didn't. I was done being a doormat. I'm not saying that being a lesbian comes with all that stuff, but with me, it did, and I was tired of it because I knew that I was living a lie. On Facebook, my friend was feeling really sad. I wanted to make her happy. I said, you know what? It's really funny. If I draw a beard and a mustache on, I look like my father. She didn't believe me, so I did, and sure enough, I looked like my father. If I can try to get that picture, it's going to be here. If not, I just look really stupid. So this made her laugh, and then I showed my friend Tyler, and they both were talking. They were like, you know, Mel, you look really good as a guy. I came back to everything. I was right where I was when I was 5 years old, telling my father that I wanted to be a boy. And for the first time in my life, all the voices that were screaming at me not to say it were silenced. I was video chatting with them, and I said, I have always felt that I was a boy, and this was a very big deal for me. And I remember posting the picture on Facebook that I sent, and I put question marks next to it, and my dad commented and he said, do we need to talk? And I said, I think we do. Why am I getting emotional? This is stupid. And I said, I was terrified. I had my friend Ashley tell my father. I remember sitting there thinking all these things, like that he said that, you know, that God doesn't make mistakes. And I thought that's where he was going to immediately go. And the thought of losing my dad to this, even though I knew that it had to happen, was something so terrifying because my dad was my hero and I really didn't want to lose him. But I told him, and his response was, "That's it? That's all? I thought you were dying. We'll talk more when we get home." Well, I told my dad, and he was like, "You know what? I love you. I'm super accepting of everything that you do. I want you to go and be a filmmaker and do all these cool things, and I want you to live your life. I want you to do it. If you're gonna do it, do it." And then I told my mother, which my mother was always sensitive to this kind of stuff. So my mom has been through a lot. And again, I didn't want to lose her because I had already lost her so many times before. And if I were to have lost her again because of this, it would have been so devastating. I told my mother, and my mother was like, "Are you getting a sex change?" Well, there's steps, Mom. "Oh, okay. I love you. I support you. I'm here for anything." So, yeah. That was awesome. And I told my siblings, and they were totally understanding too. They always knew. Let's be serious. You guys always knew. Y'all always knew. My closest friends, I told them too. And the two people I came out to first, which is Ashley and Tyler, were super supportive, and it was really cool, and they encouraged me to keep going. Of course, they had their doubts, and they just wanted me to be safe. And they're still my closest friends, and they still want me to be safe. And they're both have or had or will have or are having, Mia, you better hurry up, having kids. Yeah. So, yeah. So a lot of things you're going to encounter when you're preteen. First, you just gotta tell people. There was a man named Harvey Milk, and one of the things he was famous for, even though it was the gay movement back in the 70s, was you gotta give them hope. You gotta, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it. You gotta live your life. We don't know what comes after this, but as far as we know, we've only got one of these. It's okay. There are places that can help you. I know a lot. Just Google them. Look them up on Facebook. There are people out there who actually love you, who actually give a damn about you, and I'm one of them. You're like a freaking superhero for going through this, for knowing you have to go through this, for telling everybody, just for love. You gotta love yourself, and that's the most important thing about all of this, is you have to realize that you deserve a life in a body that you love and a mindset that you appreciate. All of this is for you, and it's for the people who you want in your life. And this is ultimately, you're building your fort, and it's time to keep the demons out. So I hope you enjoyed my story. Your life is going to change. So I hope I helped you, and I hope that all of this was good for you.